I'm gonna get spicy for the next one. Not really that spicy.
Hot take.
I'm going to do this because I had seen this like about a month ago, and it's actually about movies, but I feel like this is going to become a thing for video games. When it comes to like movies and television shows, especially in big series, your Star Wars, your Star Trek, etc., there is a portion of the fan base that gets very upset with a lot of things that the series does. So there was a Variety article where they talked to some studio execs, and they they decided that there was something that they're going to try to do in some of the studios. I'll read from the article so that you know what we're talking about. Variety says, still, toxic fandoms have grown so pernicious that they've become a fact of life for many, and so powerful that while talent, executives, and publicists will privately bemoan the issue, fear of inadvertently triggering another backlash kept several studios from speaking for this story, even on background. Those who did talk with Variety all agreed that the best defense is to avoid provoking fandoms in the first place. In addition to standard focus group testing, studios will assemble a specialized cluster of superfans to assess possible marketing materials for a major franchise project. They're very vocal, says the studio exec. They will just tell us, if you do that, fans are going to retaliate. These groups have even led studios to alter the projects. If it's early enough and the movie isn't finished yet, we can make those kinds of changes. I kind of hate this, to be honest with you. I kind of hate this. Like I bemoan the idea of art being made by committee or like in a boardroom. This feels like it's just doing more of that.
I can get it from the standpoint of the studios not wanting to piss their fans off. I get that, but at the same point,
I feel like that's going to happen anyway.
If you don't have the foresight to know what your IP is supposed to be doing and what fans like in the IP, then maybe that's for the best.
You know what I feel like it's going to end up being? I feel like, you know how people will write fanfic of stuff that they like? I feel like that's just going to be the movies now.
Oh, God.
It's just a fanfic of, like...
I mean, it's been the movies. Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey did start out as 50 Shades of Grey started out as a fan fiction of Twilight.
And Twilight was a fan fiction of something else, essentially.
Of YA novels writ large. But the thing about it is that there's a few ways that this goes, and I don't think any of them are particularly good. One is that the super fans in this particular thing are not thinking about all of the possible problems that other fans will come up with, down to the stupid stuff. I remember there was one thing that happened recently where a character's eyes in Star Wars, like a background character, his eyes were a different color in the new series, and this was a big point of contention. And it's like, okay, I would not have thought of that as a big issue. This is a background character for the most part. And I really feel like this is what's going to happen, is that the studio is going to say, okay, well, our main focus with making this thing is to not make people angry. So we're going to make it very generic.
Yeah.
And paint by numbers and not make it do anything interesting. And I don't think it's a bad thing if art occasionally makes people uncomfortable or makes people object to it. I would hope that it does something, makes you feel something.
Yeah, well, that's the point of art, is to make you feel something. Yeah. Which is why when you just talked about Inscription a little bit ago, you were saying it made you very uncomfortable.
Right. And I sit there and I think to myself, what if you had games like that, but it was made by superfans that had seen card games before? And they were like, that's not like card games. Like, I want a card game. Somebody once explained it to me, I wish I knew who it was, but like, nobody knew that they wanted Star Wars before there was Star Wars. Then Star Wars came out and everybody was like, I like this thing now. I've never seen anything like it before. You know? Nobody knew that they liked The Matrix until The Matrix happened. You know?
You can't make new art by sticking to a formula for old art.
Right, and, like, if you want to criticize the idea that, like, a corporate boardroom is trying to put it together to, like, make money, sure, I get that, but I don't think that the art itself improves by trying to leave it to a group of fans that might not have written scripts before, might not have seen story structure before, or understand, like, the larger picture that might be trying to happen here. You know, maybe some feedback's helpful. Sure, I understand that. That's why we didn't get Creepy Sonic. But on the other hand, I also don't really know if it's a great idea to have a group of fans that think they know what they want coming in and saying the movie is going to be like this now, because I don't think anyone's going to want to watch that, frankly. It's that Simpsons meme where the guy in the focus group is talking to the kids, and he's like, oh, and so you want like an original, amazing action project that's also easy to understand, that has cool characters that are also really relatable to you? And they're like, yeah! I know that there's going to be a lot of discourse for talking about this, probably, because fan service is fine. I just feel like it's over-reliant in so much of the media anyway to do fan service, where, like, the new Star Wars movie comes out, and you have to have Han and Chewie come onto the ship and say, we're home, Chewie, and then Chewie goes, roar. It's like, that's cool, but it can't be the whole thing, and eventually you want to see something new and interesting in there. So, and the reason I want to talk about that is because I can absolutely see video game companies doing the same thing, where they go, this is our new IP, we don't want to make people angry, let's have a bunch of them come in and tell us exactly the game that they want. Because I don't think that when rubber hits the road, it's going to be the game they want. Or they're going to be bored with it and go, why isn't it interesting or innovative? Well, because you wanted what you already had. You wanted that. So, my soapbox is, I don't think this is a great precedent to set, and I would be very cautious about utilizing it writ large. Let me know that I'm wrong in the comments down below.
Yes, tell Nathan he's wrong. Committee should be deciding these projects.
The committee has decided.
I am the Senate.
Now everybody is the Senate. Everybody gets senatorial powers. Ice Cream Friday will happen.
Yeah, well.